What's up, ThinkBradders? Whether it's your first time here or your 300th or anywhere in between, we are so glad you've tuned back into the channel. This video today is all about 3 great ways to use the equity in your home. Now, I'm not gonna pretend like I know it all in real estate, like I've got it all figured out, even as a guy who's been in the industry for years. But there is a lot that I've learned about how to get the equity out of your home and use it for some great ways. This works wonders whether you live here in Tennessee or Texas or Florida or some godforsaken state that I won't mention, probably Ohio. But even if you do live in Ohio, we will pray for you and encourage you to move here and utilize the equity in your house to get the heck out of here. Now let's jump into 3 ways to use the equity in your home. So we're talking about home equity, but first let's define what is home equity. It's very basic. The equity in your home is the portion the bank does not own. So if you have a house, $600,000, you have a remaining principal balance, AKA the loan for $300,000, you have $300,000 in equity. Pretty simple, right? Well, what to do with that? I've got some great suggestions. So the first and most popular thing you could do would be to fund home improvements using that equity. Now, this is the most obvious choice you could use, whether it's a kitchen renovation, a bathroom renovation, adding a new roof, a new HVAC system, whatever. The good news is the interest on the loans from using the equity is tax deductible. It's the biggest reason to do it. This isn't about blowing cash for blowing cash's sake. It's about strategic improvement to make your house more livable and to make it even more valuable. Smart renovations can help you recoup at least the cost of doing this when you sell, or in some cases have a positive ROI. So that's it. Number 1, the biggest one, do home renovations with the equity in your house. Number 2, consolidate high interest debt payments. Let's say you've got a ton of student debt or a ton of high interest credit card debt and you don't know how to pay it off. Well, the equity could be one way. You're essentially swapping a higher interest rate for a lower interest rate. Interest rates on credit cards tend to be what, like 15, 20, 25%, something ungodly with the APR that's super high. So if you're in that situation, to consolidate your debt and bring down those monthly payments and make your life a heck of a lot easier, you could tap part of the equity in your house for that purpose. But you gotta be careful. If you're doing this, be careful, because if you pay it all off just to take it back out again, you could easily find yourself back in that same situation. Lastly, and something that I've done a lot, you could invest in other assets to help build long-term wealth. So what could that be? That could be using it for the down payment for a rental property, could be buying a business, could be buying a commercial property, anything that is helping to grow your balance sheet. Now, if there's one thing I'm fanatical about, it is my balance sheet. I look at it every day. I set goals for every year, every 5 years, every decade, not out of vanity, but it's because how are you gonna get where you wanna be if you don't know where you are? Tapping that equity could help you buy the place that you want, that you've had your eye on for a long time. But here is the key with all of these. It cuts both ways. You have to be very financially savvy, because at the end of the day, it is new debt. For instance, if you go buy an investment property and you go, I don't have any money on hand, so I'll take out part of the equity in my house for the down payment. Technically, you're buying a house at 100% loan to value. You're borrowing, it's debt, it's not free money, it's money that you've got to pay back, and the interest rate there is usually much higher than on a primary property, probably about the same as an investment property. So just make sure you're well aware of how much cash you're bringing in with your job, between you and your spouse, with your lifestyle, because it can be a house of cards if you're not careful. As we wrap up, just know that none of these are get-rich-quick schemes. Really, there's no such thing in life. There's no such thing as mailbox money. I hear that all the time. I hate that phrase. Just know that if you're going to take this on, you can do a world of good with it in your life and your family's life. But if you're not careful, you can do major, and I mean major, damage to you and your family's life. So if you're considering one of these tools, here's a couple quick options. You've got a HE loan, you've got a HELOC, and you've got a cash out refinance. A HE loan is a second loan that you would take that runs second to your primary loan on your house, where you get all of the money at once. A HELOC is essentially a line of credit where you can access what you need and pay back as needed. Usually the rate on the HELOC is a little higher than a HE loan. Last but not least, the cash out refinance is where you go back and you take cash out of your property. So you have a property that's worth $800,000 with a loan of $500,000, and you want to take an additional $100,000 out. They would take old loan plus cash out equals new loan amount. Now you got to be careful, because for most people, giving up the rate on their first loan amount is not the way to go about it. So there's a lot that goes into it. Altogether, all of these tools are wonderful things that you could use to help yourself and your family. I have done all of them under the sun since being in real estate the last 15 years. To learn more about them, reach out. As always, our contact info is the same. We would love to help you. Think Nashville, think Brad, think you, think me, think real estate, think whatever. Just call that number, 615-856-3270. Love to hear from you. See you soon. Cheers.